Ava gently cradled her new friend, Tabby, a small kitten with striking silver stripes and eyes as green as summer leaves. Tabby felt warm and soft against Ava's teal jacket, purring softly like a tiny motor. Tabby snuggled closer, her little paws tucked under her chin, trusting Ava completely. Ava wondered about all the adventures they might have together, just the two of them against the world. The bright morning sun streamed into the living room, making everything look cheerful and awake. Ava stood near the comfy white sofa, still holding Tabby securely in her arms. Tabby blinked in the sunlight, her bright eyes taking in the familiar room from this new height. Ava grinned, feeling happy and bouncy. It felt perfect, just having Tabby there with her, a constant, furry companion. Later that morning, they settled onto the plush white armchair, sinking into its soft cushions. Tabby seemed perfectly content to be held, occasionally stretching a paw out as if testing the air. Ava leaned back, enjoying the quiet moment, the steady rhythm of Tabby's purr as a soothing background noise. Tabby looked up at Ava sometimes, her green eyes wide and curious, as if asking what they would do next. Ava scooped up Tabby and plopped down onto the big, squishy blue beanbag chair in the corner. It molded perfectly around them, creating a little nest just for two. Ava loved this spot. It felt like their own private island in the middle of the living room. Here, they could whisper secrets, plan imaginary journeys, or just be perfectly still together. For a change of scenery, Ava carried Tabby over to the bright orange armchair that sat near the window. The sunlight here was warmer, and they could watch the birds eat from the birdhouse. Ava decided it was the perfect time for a story. Grabbing her favorite adventure book from the nearby shelf, she settled back into the warm orange armchair. As Ava read, her imagination started to soar, picturing herself and Tabby on similar grand adventures. Tabby shifted slightly on her lap, perhaps dreaming her own kitten dreams, inspired by Ava's voice. Ava felt a thrill course through her. Reading wasn't just looking at words. It was like opening a door to endless possibilities. She finished a chapter, the afternoon sunlight slanting across the pages, making the ink gleam. Inspired by the book, Ava decided they needed some fresh air and perhaps a little real-world adventure. She carefully carried Tabby outside, finding a spot under the shade of a large leafy tree in the backyard. Ava watched Tabby, then tilted her head back, gazing up at the vast blue sky and the enormous cotton ball clouds. One particularly large cloud drifted overhead, shaped vaguely like a giant, Apollo-like spaceship. Ava imagined what it would be like to float up there, just like Johnny from her dad's album. What wonders could they discover if they could just fly away? She felt a familiar tingle of daydreaming begin, her mind drifting away from the grassy lawn. Suddenly, the ground felt far below, and a cool breeze rushed past her ears. She gasped to find herself soaring high above the ground, a bright red cape billowing behind her. Tabby was right beside her, floating effortlessly, her silver fur shimmering in the sunlight. Ava laughed, a sound carried away by the wind. Her daydream had become wonderfully, magically real. She wasn't just Ava anymore. She was Super Ava, protector of kittens and explorer of skies. Tabby seemed entirely unfazed by their sudden flight, looking around with her usual curious expression. They zoomed through the air, dodging fluffy white obstacles and waving at bewildered birds. It felt amazing, free and exhilarating, just like she had imagined. They looped and soared, playing tag with the wind currents high above the town. Suddenly, Ava felt a jolt, not from flying, but from landing back on something soft. She blinked, finding herself bouncing gently on her own bed, the ceiling fan slowly turning above her. Tabby sat calmly at the foot of the bed, watching Ava with wide green eyes. Had the flying been a dream? Ava raised her arms in the air with a whoop of leftover excitement, jumping up and down. Dream or not, the feeling of soaring through the sky was still buzzing inside her, making her giggle uncontrollably. Ava laughed and plopped down onto her stomach. As if joining the game, Tabby took a playful leap, seemingly hovering in the air for a split second before landing gracefully beside her pillow. Ava gasped. Maybe she could fly, just a little bit. They spent the next few minutes playing on the bed, Ava pretending to fly and Tabby performing impressive jumps. Later that evening, Ava and Tabby curled up on the living room sofa again. This time the television was on, casting a flickering blue light across the room. Ava had chosen one of her favorite movies, Back to the Future. The familiar opening music filled the room, promising excitement. Ava watched Marty McFly speed through time in the DeLorean, her mind buzzing with ideas. Could Tabby travel through time? What if they could visit the future, or see dinosaurs in the past? The glow from the TV reflected in Ava's glasses and in Tabby's wide, attentive eyes. Having her there, sharing this moment, made the movie even better. It wasn't just about watching an adventure. It was about sharing the experience with her best friend, imagining they were right there alongside the characters. Doc, Marty, Ava, and Tabby. As the credits rolled, Ava gently hugged Tabby, feeling a deep sense of contentment. Tabby was more than just a pet. She was Ava's co-pilot, her confidant, her furry partner in time. Later, tucked into bed, Ava thought about her amazing day. From the cozy beanbag chair to the imaginary flight through the sky, every moment had been better because Tabby was there. She pictured her little face, her bright green eyes, and her soft, stripy fur. Tabby was already curled up at the foot of her bed, a small, warm lump under the covers. Ava drifted off to sleep, wondering what incredible adventures tomorrow might bring for her and her marvelous cat. Holding Tabby close felt like holding on to a little piece of magic. Ava knew their bond was special, a friendship filled with quiet understanding, shared dreams, and the promise of countless adventures, both real and imagined.